Hi there, I'm Becky with MSCR 50 Plus. Today we're going to be doing a gentle exercise class. The equipment that you'll need today, a nice sturdy chair, preferably with a flat base and flat back so that you can sit upright. Heavier and lighter weights. You'll want one of each, one set of heavier and one set of lighter. If you don't have actual hand weights at home, you can use anything that you can hold comfortably and safely. So canned goods, you can use a water bottle filled with water. You can use milk cartons or laundry detergent cartons filled with water or sand. Anything that you can hold on to and know that you're not going to drop it on yourself. You want to be safe. Make sure that it's the right weight for you, something that you can hold safely. Water bottle, making sure that you're staying hydrated, and either ankle weights, or if you don't have ankle weights at home, you can take old socks and fill them with about a pound of beans or rice, any dried good, and then tie the socks together. So if you don't have an ankle weight, this is a great alternative. These are all optional, except for the chair. You really need the chair to do these exercises, but you can add weight if it feels good for you. Again, finding the challenge that's right for your body. So you want to make sure that at the end of the session, it feels like you've really done some work, but you don't have to take a nap and you're not sore for more than 24 hours. And of course, never do anything that a medical professional has told you not to do, even if I do it. So let's begin by putting our things out of the way here. We're going to start by warming up our bigger muscles. So beginning by walking in place, keeping your belly tucked in, shoulders relaxed, spine nice and tall. Keep breathing the whole time. Beginning opposite hand to knee, so your knee is coming straight up, it's not crossing over. Your hands are crossing over, but your core is doing the work to keep your trunk pointed straight ahead. Again, we tend to move our upper body down to our knees. Instead, let your upper body stay upright as you bring your knees up to your hands. 3, 2, switching to heels up. So your knees are staying down and back here. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Knees stay in the same plane as your heels come up. They can come up a little bit or a lot. Whatever's okay for you. You just want to make sure the knees stay back and down. 3, 2, back to opposite hand to knee. Letting your arms swing, keeping your core strong, upper body nice and tall. This is your exercise program, so you can go at the pace that works for you. You can skip things, you can double them, you can go slower or faster than I am. You get the chance to match the intensity to what your body's okay with. 3, 2, back to heels up. Keep breathing. That's the only requirement. Anything else is optional. Three, 2, we're going to switch things up. Opposite hand to knee, other hand out to the side. Keep breathing. Again, these can be little movements or they can be bigger movements depending on what your body's okay with. 3, 2, heels up, elbows up, like you're tossing something in a basket over the top of your head. Really being mindful of what your shoulder joints are okay with. Keeping that belly strong, knees down and back. Keep breathing. 3, 2, back to opposite hand to knee. You can go a little bit higher if you want, or a little bit faster. Keeping that core strong. Three, 2, switching to a step back. So one foot stays anchored as you step back with the other foot, and then alternating feet. keeping your belly strong, hips and shoulders pointed forward as you step back. The further you step back, the more challenging it is. The smaller the step, the easier it is. 3, 2, and back to a walk. Great. Bringing your feet wider than hip distance apart, shifting your weight. This time hands go toward the side of the foot where your weight is. So your toes can stay connected or they can lift up. Either one is fine. Breathing. Three, 2, back to a walk. Shifting now 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, letting your hands come out to the side and in front of you. Again, toes in the back and heels connected in the front gives you more stability. Foot lifting up is more challenge. Breathing. Three, 2, back to a walk. Shifting your other foot forward, this time your hands to the side as you come forward. Oh wait, we just did that. Hands forward as your weight comes forward, hands to the side as your weight comes back. Breathing, keeping your belly strong, shoulders square to the front. Again, back toe, front heel connected for more support. Lifting your feet up for more challenge. 3, 2, back to a walk. Good. 1 foot's going to stay anchored as you step forward and step back with your other foot. Again, a smaller step is easier, bigger step more challenging. 3, 2, back to a walk. And switch sides. Other foot stays anchored as you step forward and back. Keeping your core nice and strong. Your abdomen is doing the work to push you back. It's not pushing back and hoping for the best. This is a really smooth, controlled motion using your abdominal muscles to keep yourself stable. 2 more. Keep breathing. And back to a walk. We're going to shift to our chairs now. So bringing your chairs and equipment to a place where you can see. You want to tuck your equipment away where it's out of the way so that you can access it, but it won't trip you. Standing in front of your chair, backs of your legs touching the chair, slowly drifting down. Especially that last inch. It's a drift, not a plop. 1 knee stays still, belly tucked in, spine nice and tall as your other ankle crosses over and back. So you're keeping the knee of the leg being crossed, still and stable. Notice your tendency to curl up like a seashell through the spine. Instead, keep that belly strong, keep your shoulders over your hips. 2 more. Breathing. And down, shake your legs out. Lifting up tall, belly stays tucked in, other side. The knee of the leg being crossed stays still. You're using your core to stabilize that knee. Keeping your spine nice and tall. Breathing, keeping that jaw soft, not letting your hands help, making your core do the work to keep you upright. 2 more. And down, shake your legs out. Good. This next exercise, the further forward you are in your chair, the harder it is. The further back you are in your chair, the easier it is. If you want to make it more difficult, you can add weights, either ankle weights or the sock weights. You can do more repetitions, or you can hold each set for a little bit longer. So what you want is feeling those big thigh muscles working, not your low back, no joint pain, just feeling your muscles do the work. So I'm going to add my sock weights. draping the sock weight across the front of my ankle, lifting up tall, again, keeping that belly tucked in, lifting up and holding, but not your breath. 3, 2, 1, and down. Lifting up and holding, jaw stays soft. 2, 1, and down. Lifting up, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. I've been counting to 5, but I've been using words instead of numbers for a couple of them. 3, 2, 1, and down. One more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Shake your legs out. Again, you can use more weight, you can hold longer, you can do more repetitions. Those are all ways to make this more challenging. Lifting up tall, keeping those shoulders over your hips, belly strong. Lifting up. 3, 2, 1, and down. And up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. If you're doing this at home without a video, counting out loud ensures that you're holding for long enough and that you're breathing. 2, 1, and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Last one, tall spines. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Shake your legs out. Good. If you are not using sock weights, then you can use a pillow or a rolled up towel or a roll of paper towels, anything that's going to have some give that's going to cushion your knees. So putting your sock weight or other item between your thighs, not on the knee joint, but between the thigh muscles. Squeezing the thighs together, engage the pelvic floor. This is often called a Kegel. So you're holding your pelvic floor muscles, belly's engaged, but the jaw and shoulders stay relaxed. 3, 2, 1, and soften. Shake it out. Squeezing again, engaging the pelvic floor. What we tend to do is strengthen or clench the jaw and let the pelvic floor muscles soften. So instead, you want a nice soft jaw, but keep those pelvic floor muscles strong. And relax. Engaging thigh muscles, pelvic floor, tall spine, shoulders relaxed. Especially when we're doing core work, we tend to hold our breath. So make sure that you're breathing in and out while keeping that pelvic floor strong. And soften. We'll do 2 more. Squeezing, engaging the pelvic floor, keeping the jaw soft. And soften. And if this feels really easy for you, again, you can do more repetitions or hold it for longer to make it more challenging. Engaging your thighs, engaging your pelvic floor, letting your shoulders and jaw stay soft. Keeping that pelvic floor strong and engaged all the way through to the end here. 3, 2, 1, and soften. Shake it out. Good. You can put the sock weight on the chair for easy access. Come toward the front of your chair, feet underneath you. Lean forward, nose over toes, and push your way up, using your glutes to do the work. Standing beside your chair, using the chair for balance. Lifting up tall, so the hip of the leg that you're standing on is tall, that knee is soft. Let your heel come out to the side and back down. It's a nice steady drift out, steady drift back down. Speed does not help you here. Slow and steady is what gives you the most strength for your muscles. Breathing. Keeping your feet parallel. If you're feeling this in the front of your thigh or not feeling it in the glutes, it generally means that your toes are pointed out to the side or that your leg is drifted forward. So you want to make sure that your foot is in the same plane, not drifting forward, and that your feet are staying parallel. This is a great exercise to do in front of a mirror to make sure that's the case. Last one, and walk. Switching to the other side. Lifting up tall out of the hip you're standing on, keeping that knee soft. Keeping your feet parallel, a nice slow, steady drift. Not flying up and down, instead just a drift up and settling back in, using your muscles to control the movement up and the movement back down. Keeping your feet parallel, pressing that heel out. Keep breathing. You could imagine there's a rubber band holding your toes together so they can't get much further apart than your heels. One more. And back to a walk. Good. Either using your ankle weights, or if you want to use these sock weights, you're going to drape it over the back of your ankle. Knees stay touching each other, belly's tucked in, shoulders down, lifting tall out of the hip you're standing on as your heel comes up. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. 2 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Last one. Again, you can make this more challenging by adding more weight, holding for longer, doing more repetitions. Release the ankle weight and walk a little. Switch to the other side. Again, lifting tall out of the hip you're standing on. Knees stay touching each other. Shoulders back and down, tall spine. Coming up, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down. Right now we're focusing on the hamstrings, the back of the upper thighs. If you wanted to do this exercise and focus on the glutes as well, you could bring your knee back as your heel comes up. That will make the glutes engage as well. The trick is not to let your low back do the work. If you are going to bring your knee back, you want your glutes, but not your back doing the work. Breathing. And down. One more. Continuing to lift tall out of that hip you're standing on. Nice soft knee. And down. Walk a little. Good. So before our foot came out to the side, now we're going to bring it back at a 45-degree angle. Lifting again tall out of the hip you're standing on, bringing that heel back at a 45 and back down. So you can feel, again, the hip of the leg you're standing on doing work as well as the leg that's lifting up. So paying attention to what your body's okay with. One more. And back to a walk. Switch to the other side. Lifting up tall, keeping the knee of the leg you're standing on soft. Helps prevent any damage to that knee, keeps your circulation going all the way up and down, makes you less likely to pass out. So a nice soft knee, not hyperextended, not super bent, just nice give, a little spring in your knee. Breathing. 2 more. Only lifting as high as you are okay with, again, not using the low back, and back to a walk. Having a seat. Back of the legs touch the back of the chair, drifting down, slow and steady, especially that last inch, making sure that you're settling and not plopping. Shake the legs out. Good, we'll do some ankle work. Lifting up tall, lift one toe and the opposite heel. So my left toes and my right heels are lifted. Right toe, left heel. One set of toes and the opposite heel lifting up. If this is new for you, it takes a while for the brain to figure out what you're asking it to do. You want both your toes and the opposite heel to be lifting. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good, lifting up tall, you're gonna fishtail your feet out and back in. Again, going at your own pace, recognizing that when things are new, it takes a while for the brain to figure out what you're asking it to do. One more. And now a little mental challenge. You're going to fishtail your way out, step either one leg at a time or both legs back in. If you're stepping both legs back in, you have to use a lot of core strength. I find it even challenging just to step one foot at a time. If you want, you can alternate which foot you step out with first. Last one, breathing the whole time. And shake your legs out. Good. Again, the further forward you are in your chair, the harder this is. The further back in your chair you are, the easier this is. Lifting up tall, point one foot out, pointing and flexing the toe. Keep on breathing. 3, 2, 1, and down. Other side, pointing and flexing. And down. Back to the first side, this time windshield wiper. Three, 2, 1, and down. Other side, windshield wiper. 3, 2, 1, and down. And now spell your name in all capital letters with your foot. If I was really coordinated, I could do it backwards so it would look correct to you, but I'm not that good. If you have a really long name, you can shorten it up, or if you have a short name, you can lengthen it up so that it's difficult enough, but not too hard. And down, shake your legs out. Great, let's grab our hand weights. So any of these exercises you can do standing up or sitting down. If you're standing, it takes a little bit more core strength, and you want one foot half a step in front of the other for extra low back support. So starting with your heavier weights, coming toward the front of your chair, lifting tall, shoulders stay tucked back and down, bicep curls, letting your hands drift down and drift back up, keeping that jaw soft. Notice how my upper body isn't moving here. When we're working with too heavy a weight, we tend to fling our upper body in order to make the work happen. So you want to stabilize your upper body, make your core work to keep you still and steady. Your elbows are the pivot point. 2 more. Again, you can always do more or less depending on what's okay for your body. Set those weights down and grab your lighter weights. As I'm lifting my weights, you notice my arms do the work and then my legs do the work. It's never my low back doing the work to push me up. So with your lighter weights, again, shoulders back and down, you're using the outer part of the upper third of your shoulder here, not the top, but that upper arm, the deltoids. So the shoulders stay down as the hands come up and back down, feeling that outer part of your upper shoulder doing the work. Breathing. Two more. Listening to what your body's okay with, even if it's different than what I'm doing. Good. Set one of those weights down. Shake your arms out all the way up to the shoulder. Good. We're doing overhead presses next, paying attention to what your shoulders are okay with. Chin stays parallel with the floor, spine nice and tall as you press up and back down. That might be a small lift for you, or you may be able to extend your arm all the way up. What you're paying attention to is the joint and how the joint feels. You want your muscles to be working, but no pain in the joint. Again, really listening to your body, what your body's okay with. 2 more if that feels okay. Last one. And back down. Shake that arm out. That was me this morning reaching up in my upper cupboards for a stock pot. So these are really practical exercises. We use our shoulders a lot. Reaching in the upper cupboards or washing our hair, anything where we're reaching up and overhead. Keep breathing. Two more if that feels okay for your body. Again, really listening to that joint, what your shoulder is okay with. And that might be different day to day. And down. Shake that arm out all the way up to the shoulder. So that empty hand is going to drift in front of you, palm up, drift down, palm down. In the meantime, your hand with the weight is going to come straight out to the side and down. You have to use your core to keep yourself upright here. So notice that abdominal work that's happening. Still breathing. Again, only going as high as your body is okay with. One more. And down. Switch to the other side. Empty hand drifts forward, palm up, drifts down, palm down. Hand with the weight comes straight out to the side and back down. It might be easier or more difficult from side to side. Again, really tuning in to that core, feeling your abdomen as it works to support you. Maybe exhaling when it's harder, inhaling when it's easier. One more. And down. Shake those arms out all the way up to the shoulder. Next, we're doing tricep work. The key to this is keeping that upper arm totally still. I'll turn to the side so you can see more easily. Hinging forward, tuck the elbow in and up so your elbow's not out here. It's tucked in like a little chicken wing. Keep the upper arm as close to parallel with the floor as you can. Your elbow is the pivot point. So your pinky comes up toward the ceiling, bend at the elbow, hand comes toward the hip. The upper arm stays as still and steady as possible. When your upper arm is isolated, then you're really focusing on those triceps, the muscles in the back of the upper arm. Keep breathing. 2 more. And use your legs, not your back, to push yourself up. Shake that arm out. And switch to the other side. Hinging forward, tuck the elbow in and up. Remember, your elbow is the pivot point. Your gaze might be somewhere between your toes. You want your neck in neutral. So your chin isn't tucked way in, it's not pressed way out, it's in neutral. So there's no strain in your neck here. Keeping that upper arm still. Again, the elbow is the pivot point. The lower arm moves, the upper arm stays still. 2 more if that feels okay for you. And again, using your legs, not your back, to push yourself up and shake that arm out. One more time, switching to a heavier weight. Holding your weight on either side, coming from your heart height up and out to eye height and back down. Feeling your core, the muscles under your armpits do the work, not your low back. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Again, you're coming up and out at a 45-degree angle. Elbows stay tucked in. Chin stays parallel with the floor. One more. and down. Shake your arms out. We'll do that same thing. Your trunk is going to stay pointed forward. This time your hands are going to go up and out to one side. So you're using your external and internal obliques, those side waist muscles, to keep you steady. Again, your core stays pointed forward as your hands reach up and out to the side. Breathing, keeping your jaw soft. Two more. Feeling those side waist muscles do the work. And down, shake your arms out. Good. Switching to the other side, lifting tall, keeping your trunk pointed straight ahead as your hands reach up and out to the side and back down. Feeling those side waist muscles, jaw stays soft. Keep breathing. Two more. And down. Set that weight down. Again, using your legs to push yourself back up. The next exercise is a sort of sneaky core exercise. So lifting up tall, shoulders rolled back and down. Straighten your arms out so your elbows are straight but not locked. You're going to press your palms against your thigh muscles just in front of the knee joint. You'll feel your abdomen engage here. So if you feel your back doing the work, don't press quite as hard. Refocus on using your belly. If you're pressing and you're like, I could work harder, then you're going to push your knees up against your hands. So this is a great exercise for the core. It's not dangerous for the back, and it's really effective. It really gets those core muscles working. And soften, shake it out. You just want to make sure that you're feeling your belly, not your back, do the work. Lifting up tall, shoulders back and down, elbows straight as you press your thighs into your hands. Lots of ways you can vary this. You can either keep doing exactly this, or if you want, you can let one hand and leg drift up while the other hand is pressing. Again, getting some of those side abdominals. Breathing. One hand always pressing. And soften, shake it out. Good. Lifting up tall, shoulders back and down, pressing again. Or you can leave your hands where they are, but like a clutch and gas, I guess it would be. Easing up on one side, pressing on the other. Easing up on that side, pressing on the other. Easing up on that side as you press on the other. Easing up on that side as you press on the other. And then pressing both hands again, feeling that core, feeling your belly do the work, not your back. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. It's also a great exercise to do if you're feeling cold. Heats you up really quickly. Great. So coming toward the front of your chair, pull your feet underneath you. Lean forward, nose over toes, gently standing up. Good. We're going to do some balance work now. So the easiest balance work is one where you don't move. Not to say that it's super easy, it just means it's the easiest to figure out. So you're going to put one foot in front of the other, so your feet are tandem in front of the other. You can have a nice firm grip on your chair, or maybe just a couple of fingers, a light grip, maybe just a finger, or a hovering hand. You want at least a hovering hand in case you wobble, you've got something to hold on to. Knees are soft, weight evenly distributed front to back. What you might find is the hip of the leg that's in the back. If that hip is weaker, you're going to have more wobbles, or it's going to be a little bit more difficult. That's to be expected. So just standing, that's the balance challenge. If you want to make it more challenging, you can shift your weight forward and back, or you can keep your weight in the center and turn your head from side to side. So just standing is fine. Standing with a firm grip is fine. With a hovering hand, moving your weight back and forth, or turning your head. Lots of alternatives so that you find the place where your balance is being challenged. You're a little wobbly, but you're still safe. You're not going to tip over. 3, 2, 1, and walk a little. Switching to the other side, now your other foot is going to be forward. Again, weight evenly distributed front to back. Knees stay soft. You can have a firm grip or light fingers or off finger or hovering hand. You can, if you want to add challenge, shift your weight forward and back, or you can gently turn your head from side to side. So staying still with a firm grip is the easiest. I find turning my head side to side the hardest. Keep your jaw soft. Keep breathing. Notice which muscles are doing the work. Are you feeling this in your feet, your ankles, in your knees, in your hips? Just notice what part of your body is compensating to keep you balanced here. Breathing. 3, 2, 1, and walk. Our next balance challenge involves walking. So ideally, you'll find a place where you have a wall or a hallway. Walking heel to toe so your feet are one step in front of the other. Maybe you've got fingers trailing along that wall, or at least a hand near the wall to help you catch your balance if you need it. The slower you go, the more difficult this is. This is one of the times where slower is harder. So if you want to make it more challenging, walk further or walk more slowly. Again, the less support you have, the more challenging it is. If you're like me and you have a restricted range, just turn around and keep going. Otherwise, you can practice this down the hall. If you want, you can pause the video so that you can go down the hall and come back and make sure you're not missing anything. Good. And walk a little. The next balance challenge is just stepping to the side. So feet stay parallel, stepping to the side and together, to the side and together. Again, if you have a long hallway, that's ideal. You can do a little bit more work, leading with your heel, not with your toe. And stopping when you get tired. So maybe you start and you do 5 steps and your body's tired. That's okay. Eventually working your way up. So longer steps are more difficult. Smaller steps are easier. Again, if you have a railing or a wall that you can trace to keep some safety just in case you need it. So stepping to the side. And again, this is something you can pause your video and do and come back if you want. Good. Let's have a seat. Shake those legs out. Our legs are so important for balance, and the stronger your balance is, the healthier you'll be. So making sure that you're practicing those balance exercises every day if you can. Lifting up tall, we're going to cross either an ankle or a leg or an ankle over the knee. You don't have to be as bendy as I am. So any of those 3 options is fine. Crossing at the ankle or the leg or the knee. Lifting up tall wherever you are, gently hinging forward. So we use those hip muscles a lot today. This is a nice easy stretch for those hip muscles. Again, you can have your ankle crossed over your knee, but if you're not feeling that flexible and maybe your hip's a little achy today, whatever it is, you can always step down. So just a leg crossed over or just an ankle crossed over with that gentle hinge forward. Whatever you're doing, it should feel easy and gentle. So no pain in the joint, nothing that makes you say, "Urgh." It's easy and gentle, just that soft opening. Push your bent leg into the ground to lift yourself up. Clasp your hands under that thigh. And now your hands are doing the work to give your hip range of motion with no work on your hips part. And back down. Lifting up tall. Other side, either crossing the ankle or crossing the leg, or crossing the ankle over the knee. Lifting up tall, like princes and princesses, hinging forward. So notice how I'm not curled here, I'm not C-shaped. My spine is nice and long as I'm hinging forward. I'll shift to the side so you can see. So wherever it is you're starting from, nice and tall, hinging forward. You may only go forward an inch, and that's okay. Feeling that outer hip, maybe the out of your thigh, and into your glute, depending on how tight those muscles are. Just letting your body soften into that stretch. 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming up. Holding under that thigh, your hands are doing all of the work. Your leg gets a free ride. Range of motion for your hip with no effort on your hips part. And down. Now we're stretching the front of our thighs. There are several ways that you can do that. The first way is sitting so that half your body's on the chair, holding on to the other side for balance. Hip, knee, and ankle in a nice straight line. Belly tucked in. So you're feeling that stretch from your hip into the top of your thigh. Again, easy and gentle. If that doesn't work for you, if it doesn't feel like a good stretch for you, then an alternative is to stand beside your chair. I'll stand on this side. Lifting up tall, press your toe back, pull your tailbone underneath you. So you can see here, my belly button is tucked in. I'm pulling my tailbone underneath, and the top of my toe is touching the floor. Again, feeling that hip flexor. Or if that stretch doesn't work for you, you can hold on to a tennis shoe or a pant leg or your ankle to get a stretch through the front of your thigh. So any of those three options, whatever works best for you. There's no right way. It's just whatever is going to give you a nice, good, kind of stretch through the front of your thigh. No pain in the joints or the muscles. Just an easy, gentle stretch. And down. Switching to the other side. Again, any of those three options. Seated with your leg back, a toe back, or holding onto your leg. Breathing. Letting your body soften. Feeling that easy, gentle stretch. The knee of the leg you're standing on, if you're standing, is soft. Belly is tucked in. 3, 2, 1, and down. Good. Last time, having a seat. Lifting up tall, shoulders back and down. You're going to extend your hands out in a Y. If that doesn't feel good, you can have short levers. Hands out, chin a little bit up, creating lots of space in your body. 3 soft, deep breaths here. Feeling the length through your body, feeling your breath totally fill you, totally exhaling. Again, short levers, bent elbows if that feels better. 1 more breath in and out. And down. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a delight, and I hope to see you soon.